This is Draynor Village, and this is a chunk, one of the biggest death chunks in the game, due to the 99 farming skill cape. But I'm trapped here for another reason. One NPC called Friendly Forester, and a mini game called Forestry, which has a whole collection log items tab to it. This Forester is found within 3 chunks around Draynor, and mine just happens to be one of them. So let's jump into our chunk tasks for South Draynor. Let's start with the collection log items that we need to obtain, being the Twitcher's gloves, the log basket, the cape pouch, the felling axe handle, sturdy beehive parts, the petal garland, the fox whistle, and the golden egg. Collection log items are a little bit more special, so these cards get a holographic design. Pretty spiffy if I say so myself. Next up is the skilling tasks. We need 30 fire making, 30 wood cutting, 1 smithing, 1 farming, 1 hunter, and 1 cooking. For quests and diaries, we have to kill a zombie in the Draynor sewers, chop a willow tree in Draynor, and start Poor Sign of Interest. We also have a best in slot task, being the cabbage cape and the steel mace. Now let's go explore what South Draynor has to offer. It is weird yet nice to be finally walking outside of the Wizard's Tower. It does feel wrong in a way, but first things first, before we explore, the biggest thing that this chunk has to offer us is a bank. So let's go see what's inside of it. Actually looks pretty much like I thought it would. A mess. These arrows should do us some favors whenever I can get my hands on a bow. 3 ruined med helms for high alking. That's a good 60k right there. Nothing too crazy, but something is still better than nothing. We're now at Diango's store, and he has a specific item that would really fit along with this series, and I bet most of you won't be able to guess it. That's right, mystic cards. Totally fits the vibe of our task cards, and in reality these do nothing for us besides making us look cool. But now we also have the cabbage cape, which is our best in slot cape, being it gives us a range defense bonus. So that is a chunk task completed, first one of the episode. We also have Draynor sewers, which is where we're going to get our smithing task and our diary task done. Other than that, South Draynor isn't too fancy at the moment. If we open up North Draynor, things get interesting, but for now we should go grab our bronze axe and start chopping some trees. 3, 4, 5, 6 wood cutting, mean we can finally use our steel axe that we have had in the bank for a while now. That is 15 wood cutting, meaning we can now chop down oak trees. Much nicer than regular trees, but I have been banking every single log, and we'll do so until 30, and then probably continue banking them because we still need to do fire making, and we'll probably have a fletching grind here soon. We finally got our first doable event, but these cards kept getting in the way. I kept trying to duel everybody, so these cards unfortunately will be going to the bank. But that was our first rising root event, giving us our first bit of enema infused bark. Every forestry event gives this bark, which is considered wood cutting currency. We use it to buy items off the forestry shop, which is how we can get all of our collection log items needed for this chunk. With the newest update, you can also use the enema bark to buy the fox whistle and the golden egg for 75,000 bark each, which you could not do so before. But I also have no idea how much time that would take. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully we can just get the items, but if not, we actually now have the chance to buy them, so that's better. Wanted to see if we could spawn out our own event over here at the oak trees, but I just see a bunch of floating axes. It actually worked. We spawned our first event over here, which is actually a needed one as well. We need to get the sturdy beehive parts from this event. I do not know if it always hands them out, so let's hope. And it did. Level 24 woodcutting and sturdy beehive parts, which is the first collection log item and another chunk task completed. I was able to spawn a struggling sapling event outside of the forestry world, and this event gives farming XP, which is a chunk task completed, being level 1 farming. Now this event, like others, scales to your level, so we weren't getting much XP to begin with, but at the same time any XP is better than no XP. First beginner clue from woodcutting sadly doesn't seem to be one that we can do, but we will get these more often and hopefully get some juggling going on. Finally got a poacher's event, one of the 3 events that can give us a needed collection log item, with this one being the fox whistle. But this does complete a skilling chunk task, being level 1 hunter, so that is another chunk task completed. But we do have to be careful with this event, as it does train hunter. If we get 17 hunter, then any chunk with a wheat field opens up Puro-Puro, which we do not want to do too soon, only if it benefits us. Otherwise, we are just taking on a not needed grind. So if we do not have the fox whistle by 16 hunter, we will then have to pay 75,000 enema infused bark for this item, which I would rather not. We also just got 30 wood cutting, so it is now time to chop down some willow trees we're going to finish off this inventory first for fire making. Chopping down a willow tree is a diary task, and level 30 woodcutting the chopped willows is a skilling task. So that is 2 chunk tasks completed at once. First, friendly ent event, and let me tell you, if it wasn't for receiving bark, I would not do this event at all. Nada. First genie of the episode, we're going to put these into hunter. For my goal now is to have hunter be as close to 17 as possible. So then when we need to do Puro-Puro, I'm not just woodcutting forever again. 40 woodcutting has been achieved, not a chunk task, just a decent milestone. I wanted to take a smidge of a break from woodcutting, very small one. We do have some tasks needed to complete that involves going back to the wizard's tower. Alright, now we just need to cook this one piece of chicken. So now we just need to cook this one piece of chicken, and of course, okay. Alright, 2 times the charm. This is raw chicken to cooked chicken, another chunk task completed. Now we also have another task that requires level 1, which is to smith a bronze dagger. In the Draynor sewers is a armored skeleton that drops a bronze bar in the rate of 1 in 26. And there are also zombies down there, so this is potentially a 2 chunk task done at once. Just completed a diary chunk task involving killing a skeleton in Draynor sewers, so that is now completed. Now, hopefully we just get this bronze bar. Someone is running around having a little bit of fun. Little drop party here while we're doing a poacher's event. Obviously, as an Ironman, I can't pick up these items, but it's still fun to see. 50 wood cutting has been achieved, and I think right now we are roughly about 5,000 bark. Last I looked, yeah, 5,000. Something funny to see is if you look down in the chat box, you see me, which is this chunk with the space, and then you see someone with this chunk and no space. We've actually chatted before. He's in the OneChunk Discord, and he offered me the name if I wanted it. I do think the space looks cleaner, and he was also just able to leave the tower, but he did so way quicker than I did, so congrats to him. Oh, I don't have a spade. I got a Draynor chunk. I don't have a spade. I got a Draynor clue, but I don't have a spade. Let future me chime in here just for a minute and give you guys a piece of advice. If you have a clue step that is doable in any chunk and you do not mind juggling it, juggle it. Unless you know how far you really are from being completed and don't want to juggle it, you should totally juggle it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. So this is the flowering tree event, and it's a pretty good event, honestly. It gives a good amount of bark and the rewards aren't bad too. I just got 6 strange fruits, which is about like energy potions, and 5 Heartlander seeds, not bad at all. Finally got a pheasant control event, another event that gives us a collection log item, this one being the golden egg. Before the most recent update, this was the hardest collection log item to get, and you couldn't buy it. Now it has a 1 in 30 chance to get per bird's nest, I believe, or you can buy it with 75,000 anima infused bark. Unlike the fox whistle, we do not have to worry about watching levels, so potentially we could stay here forever if we needed. Level 2 hunters from a poacher's event, which is already a better XP per hour improvement from level 1, since every disarm now will be 1 XP instead of a half. You know, hopefully there isn't some madmen who like count this as a real training method, because that'd be crazy with a 1 in 9 chance to even get the event, and then for it to scale to your level. Right now I'm getting 1 XP a trap. The last event to give us a collection log items is this one right here, a enchanted ritual event. This one gives us the petal garland. The drop rate is just like the others, a 1 in 30. This event isn't all that fun though, you just get to stand in the spot, but it does give a really good amount of anima bark, so that does make up for it. Back to back enchantment events, but this one is going to get us 59 wood cutting and the petal garland. First of the 3 big items, getting the petal garland is a collection log item task completed, and one less item that we have to spend 75,000 infused bark on. 60 wood cutting has been achieved. We can finally cut down yews whenever we get the chance to. With the steel axe, it's gonna be dumb, but we don't have an upgrade yet. Completing a demon sergeant's event, giving us another XP lamp, putting it in the hunter, and that's going to give us level 3 hunter. Doing this wood cutting grind has given me plenty of time to catch up on some of my favorite RuneScape creators, but sometimes I'm all caught up and I just don't know who to watch next. Having a place to help discover new creators and series would be amazing, and luckily there is a place just for that, called Rotten Lobsters. A place where you can rate, watch, and discover new content specifically related to RuneScape. So if you're like me and you're needing someone new to watch, check out the website. I will have a link in the description and comment section of this video. Not going to record every event, but will if something's gonna happen, and this would be me getting level 4 hunter. So the pheasant control event gives you pheasant feathers, which you can sell for 5 anima infused bark. Now the collection log items does have an outfit, and I'm assuming that these feathers are what you make it out of. I'm not too worried about it right now. That is definitely a future side problem, and I'm gonna sell these now. So that is 440 bark to gain. Oh, the golden egg finally has been achieved. I say finally like I've been here forever, but that's just one less item to purchase from the shop. And getting the golden egg is a collection log item task completed. What the hell? Two golden eggs in one event? I know that the update did some wonders, but to do this that's crazy. Kind of startled me for a second, if I'm being honest. You know, the text looks so close, like getting a pet. So here I was thinking I got a pet when I got 2 golden eggs now. Got ourselves a genie, and we're gonna put this on Hunter, giving us 5 Hunter. Found out that the golden egg is high alchable for 18,000, which isn't bad. I do have 2 of them. I probably don't need 2, but you can turn this into the Forester shop for bark. But let's see how much that is first. 250 bark. Yeah, I would just high out this for real. The fact that you can buy this for 75,000 and then sell it for 250 is nuts. I'm just gonna bake it. I don't know if I'm gonna need it for later for some reason, but I'd rather just have it. Crazy. Am I being blessed on this count a little bit? It's not a fox whistle, but damn, 3 golden eggs now. Jagex said, here's 1 golden egg for each 100 hours you spent in the wizard's tower. We could probably high out this one, right? I don't think there's a need for 3 of them. So here we are in the Forester shop. We do have enough infused bark to buy all the items needed other than the fox whistle, but it also takes a certain number of logs. So the Twitcher's glove is 5,000 bark and 500 willow logs. So we are going to purchase that. And the cape pouch is 2,500 infused bark, no logs, and we're also going to buy that as well. And that is going to knock out 2 collection log items at once. We do need more logs for the other items, so we're gonna go get those real quick. All right, we're now going to buy the felling axe handle and the log basket, giving us 2 more collection log item tasks completed at once, meaning the only remainder one is the fox whistle. It's actually kind of crazy how many doubles we're completing at the moment. 3 farming, no fox whistle yet, but this is level 7 hunter. 4 thieving. You know, every time I get this event, I'm kind of thinking like, damn, what if I get that 4th golden egg? I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I do need the whistle. I didn't record the enchantment event knowing that I already got the petal garland. It does give a good amount of bark, but I just got a 2nd necklace. I bet if the duplicates were actually worth trading in, I would have the fox whistle by now. Level 8 hunter. Decided to put the book of knowledge in the farming, and this is going to get us 4 farming. Struggling sapling event, getting us 5 farming. I did a beekeeper event, giving us a lamp, and that is going to take us to 7 farming. So it may look like it to you guys that these farming levels are just coming in, and let me tell you that they are not. This is purely the power of editing. I'm hoping for this whistle very soon. Sometimes as a creator, I wonder if I ruined my chances when I hit the record button, and I gave it a shot. I saw it. So as you guys can see, the damn whistle is in my inventory. I'm happy about this, of course, but I could have had a clip of getting it instead of like after it, but it also proves my point, you know? Now this is a collection log item task completed, and this one being the fox whistle. Last of the 3, and I got it before 17 hunter, which is the best part. So no Puro-Puro just yet. I didn't want to show fire making levels, as we all know what that is, so I've decided to show you guys the important one. 30 fire making, being a skilling chunk task completed. And now we got ourselves a lamp, which is going to put us up to 9 thieving. Without looking into future tasks, you're kind of able to tell what's going on, because there is a master farmer here, and I know that if we unlock North Draynor, we're going to have a way to train thieving consistently. So 38 thieving will definitely be a task soon, so why not start now? We do have a smithing task down here in the Draynor sewers from an armored skeleton, and I just realized I'm killing a zombie, so let me actually go to the skeleton. Finally got ourselves the bronze bar. Took 102 skeletons, so 3 times the drop rate basically. But with this, we can finally smith a bronze dagger, and since I didn't bring a hammer with me, let's go grab one from the bank. There we have it. Smithing a bronze dagger is a chunk task completed, leaving only 2 chunk tasks remaining. The Black Knight is most likely considered the strongest opponent that we have fought fairly yet. Coming in at level 33, a max hit of 4, he drops us our steel mace and a 1 in 28 drop rate. If it's anything like like the Lesser Demon, we could potentially be here for a while. We finally got ourselves a Steel Mace from the Black Knights, 245 kills done on PC, 132 kills done on mobile, so 377 combined kills, putting us close to 3 times the drop rate. Much better than the Lesser Demons from the Wizard Tower, I can say that for sure, but that is a Steel Mace obtained and a best in slot chunk task completed, leaving us only one more to do. Last thing to do, start step 1 of Poor Sign of Interest, which is now completed. So now it is time to roll and find out what chunk we're gonna have next. So that was the most amount of tasks that we've had in a chunk so far. And I'm happy to see the board go from full to empty, meaning that we can now roll for our next chunk. Now before we do roll for our next chunk, I like to do a little segment I like to call Rate That Chunk, where I like to give an honest review of my experience in a chunk that I have completed. So this is strictly to my rule set. So for South Draynor, in terms of difficulty, I'll give it a 2-star. For the sheer fact that this chunk has a lot to do with RNG. Now, if you hate farming and you do play the extreme rule set, this would be rated a lot higher. In terms of time, I'll give this chunk a 3 stars for the fact that it's mainly RNG-ish. I spent about 70 hours in this chunk alone, and I know some people who were in and out of this chunk or stuck even longer than I was. And again, if you played the extreme rule set, this chunk would be rated a lot higher. Now, finally, for a personal rating of my experience in this chunk, I would say it's a 3 out of 5 stars for enjoyment. Forestry isn't the most fun, but it does allow me to AFK, allowing me to play other games, hang out with people, as I'm still grinding chunk tasks. So for overall enjoyment, I'll give this a 3 out of 5 stars. Now let's go talk about our chunk rolls. For my current chunk, I'm only going to count 2 chunks that are rollable. Now technically, you could say that we could roll for 3, including Port Sarim, since there is a tiny space that we can access. But that would mean an automatic reroll and backlog task until we trained agility, or the shortcut to cross the wall. So I'm not going to count this as a rollable chunk just yet. So with that being said, let's go over our options without digging in too deep. The fun part of this is finding what's truly beneath the chunk when we get there. So this is purely first looks. So for chunk 1, being the backside of the Lumbridge Castle, we have a thieving grind, since you do need to pick lock the ham hideout, and then that opens up probably some sort of best in slot gear, I'm assuming. Maybe a training method. Yew tree, so 60 woodcutting. Fletching if we get a knife, and it looks like we'll start a quest as well. And that's it for first looks. For chunk 2, being north of Draynor, this will open up a thieving grind. I'm pretty sure there's a couple men and women in that chunk. It will open up the agility grind, since the Draynor course is now level 1. Meaning Port Sarim will become rollable. There's a quest start there, but the most deadly thing in this chunk is the wheat field, which we do not have to open up until we want to. So we're gonna play this as smart as possible. So we shouldn't have to do Puro-Puro for a while, assuming, you know, probably the first boss we encounter. Probably. Our best in slot gear is not the greatest right now. Now, which one do I hope to roll? I'm rooting for number 2. Looks like a, you know, it looks like a good chunk. It opens up some grinds for us, but any way we roll could definitely lead to some disasters. I'm gonna root for number 2. So with that being said, let's roll. All right, babe, which one do you think? 1 or 2?
I think it's Draynor.